no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come and shut me down. Hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. I'ma rep my city and salute my town. Said ain't no way, ain't no how. I'ma let somebody come and shut me down. I'ma hold my own, I'ma stand my ground. And I'm ready for whatever, and I still stand proud. Ain't no way. Who you think you kidding, dude? Never thought that I would do.
What up, though? It is your boy Mike D, host of Wrestling from the 313. And as always, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. This episode is brought to you by WSN, the Wrestling Society Network. Make sure you download the app on Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, also Roku. Also, check out their website at thewrestlingsociety.com. You go on there, set up a free account. Go on there, check out a lot of cool wrestling content. Wrestling documentaries, wrestling shows, wrestling cartoons, just a lot of cool stuff on there. They also have a podcast room where you can check out all the dope wrestling podcasts. One of them is Wrestling from the 313. Also check out WSN's Patreon page that you can sign up for free. Check out the membership options if you want to check out all the cool exclusive stuff on there. And as always, go to wrestlingfromthe313.shop. Get you some cool, get you a t-shirt, get you a hoodie. Starting to get cool now. So, time to warm up and represent and rep the 313. So my guest today is the host of the Outside the Ring podcast, Maverick Salazar. What up, though? And welcome to Wrestling from the 313.
What up, and thank you for having me.
No problem. So, before we talk about your podcast and how you got started with that, let's just talk about how you became a fan of pro wrestling. Like, what was that moment, and like, who were some of your favorites growing up?
So, fun enough, I started out on the indies before I found out about like the pro, like WWE, TNA, things like that.
Okay.
So I really got to know some of the people on the indie level. And then during lockdown is when I learned about the WWE. And the match that got me hooked was Undertaker versus Jeff Hardy.
Okay. Raw
2002 ladder match.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, too. So was Jeff Hardy one of your favorites, or Undertaker?
Both of them are up there, real up there for me.
That's what's up. So where would you put Undertaker as far as like in the GOAT conversation, or like or Mount Rushmore?
Number one. He's my number one.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely got him on my Mount Rushmore. I would say for the Undertaker, like, he didn't win as many championships as maybe like a Ric Flair or Triple H or Randy Orton or John Cena, but I just think his longevity by itself just did it, and the way that he was able to keep that the Undertaker character interesting for so long. Like, he started off as the Dead Man, and transitioned into the American Badass, and then after that kind of did like a mixture of the Dead Man and the American Badass. So that you would be crazy to not have the Undertaker on your Mount Rushmore.
Most definitely. And along with longevity, you can't forget about the streak.
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think we'll ever see a streak like that ever again.
No.
And for some reason, I thought that they were kind of on that verge with Bianca Belair, because her first couple WrestleMania, she was like, what, 4-0, 5-0, something like that. And it seemed like that they were starting to like maybe give her a nice little winning streak, but she ended up losing that WrestleMania in the triple threat match.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you said Jeff Hardy was one of your favorites. Like, Jeff Hardy definitely will go down as like one of the greatest tag team wrestlers. And I also think, as far as wrestlers that took it to another level, or kind of like that extreme type style, I definitely got him in the top 10, top 5? What you think?
Without a doubt, definitely top 5 for me.
Yeah. So would you say would you put his style like with the hardcore wrestlers, like some of the ECW wrestlers, like a Rob Van Dam or Sandman, guys like that?
Yeah, yes and no.
Okay, yeah.
Not in extreme, but not like extreme like old ECW days where it's like all bloody stuff like that. But he
Yeah,
definitely got some extreme.
yeah. I would say when it comes to like just doing like just moves that you would never see nobody else do, I could see it on that side of being extreme. But it's like you
Mhm.
said, as far as with the hardcore stuff, like Sandman and all those guys, definitely not. So let's talk about the podcast. So what inspired you to start the Outside the Ring podcast, and what's been your favorite interview so far?
What kind of inspired me to do it is seeing all these different wrestlers, whether it was on TV or on the indie scene, and kind of wanting to learn more about who they are, both outside the ring and then kind of inside the ring within their character work. And then favorite interviews, number one's got to be the man Jeff Hardy, without
Okay.
a doubt. And then some other notable ones would have to be EC3,
Oh, cool.
Dijak, and I have some people on the like independent level that I really liked interviewing.
So what was it like interviewing EC3?
It was nice, unique.
That's what's that's what's up. So have you had like an interview with a wrestler that was like, and you don't have to say their name or anything like that, but that was just kind of like he wasn't the person that you would expect that he was, or whatever.
Uh, yeah, gotta be honest. Yeah.
You say it's always that one, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But for the most part, you say that a lot of the guys that you've met that have been interviewed have been pretty cool.
Oh, without a doubt.
That's what's up. That's cool. So, from a podcaster's perspective, how do you balance being both a fan and an analyst of pro wrestling?
Hmm. I kind of once I'm in the aspect of it, I don't dig too much towards what I've kind of learned about some of the people. I kind of just sit there and enjoy with everybody else kind of what's going on in the moment. And
Mm-hmm.
then if I go on to interview them, I'll schedule it out. We'll sit down. But I do or try my best to keep it separate from my fan perspective.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, that's what. And I think one of the things that like what I try to do, um, when I have like independent wrestlers on my show,
Mhm.
I always try to like make it about them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like
yeah.
you always want to. It's okay sometimes to talk about WWE, AEW, but 90, I would say 90 to 95% of the interview you want it to be about them. You know what I'm saying?
Almost
And
without a doubt.
sometimes you got to do that. Do a little research. Look at some of the matches, watch some of the videos, and talk about the character and how they came up with certain characters and stuff like that. So I definitely agree. agree with you 100%. So, do you see podcasting as a way to give independent wrestlers and promotions more exposure?
Oh, without a doubt. Because I know, like, some of the interviews that I've done, you'll have people in there that, like, know the wrestler themselves,
Mm-hmm.
but may not know some of the promotions they have worked for that
Yeah.
you brought up within the interview, or vice versa. There may be some promotions that people have heard of, but didn't know certain wrestlers worked there because they may have been gone for either a few years or just starting out in promotion and they haven't showed up in the show for X amount of time.
Yeah, definitely. So, have you like have you used your podcast to help out different wrestling promotions?
Yes, I have, without a doubt, as well as putting spotlight on the wrestlers I'm interviewing. Because, like I said, people you may have interviewed may not have known of certain wrestlers or may not even seen the indie promotions, been watching pro like WWE, AEW, TNA.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, that's what's up. So, one of the indie promotions that you do work for is Superior Championship Wrestling (SCW). That's based here in Michigan.
Yes, sir.
How did you get involved with SCW?
So, one of the wrestlers, once I picked up my kind of podcast interviewing, because I took a break for like a couple months, because like I said, it was during a lockdown and not much was going on at the
Oh,
time.
okay.
So once I did more research about other promotions that were out there, SCW was one of them that came up. But what really made me kind of go out there was a wrestler that I interviewed, brought him up within the interview, and had a lot of good things to say about the promotion
Oh, cool.
and invited me to just come out, check out the show, and see what I thought of it. And it was the first promotion in Michigan that I've checked out.
Oh, cool.
And it was like right after everything from pandemic started really clearing up.
Yeah, yeah,
It's been 2 years at this
yeah,
point.
yeah. That was and not to really dwell back on the pandemic, but that was just a crazy time, especially when
Mm-hmm.
everything was shut down and you know you was taking a risk going outside and coming back in the house and you trying to go shopping and there's nothing on the shelves and it was a crazy time and that's something that I hope we never have to go through again.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes SCW different from other independent promotions in the state?
What kind of makes them different is they're based more around kind of the family friendly style of wrestling
Yeah,
as opposed to the extreme that you would see in promotions like Horror Slam or XICW.
yeah, yeah.
They may have some matches here and there with like weapons and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing where you'll get really busted open or bloody. And that's their thing is they try to stick more towards the family friendly style of wrestling so everyone has a promotion to kind of enjoy.
Yeah. And I've been to a couple of their shows, and they have some real good shows.
Hmm.
And they also too are on a they've been on a couple of new one of the news stations here, and they do a show down in called Troy Days,
Yep.
and they do shows there that entire weekend. So yeah,
Hmm.
SCW
Yeah.
does has been in the TV on TV here a lot, and
Hmm.
they doing big things. I definitely got to say that.
Oh yeah. this past year with Troy Days was a huge success.
That's what's
They
up.
yeah, a lot of new
Yeah, because
faces.
one of the wrestlers that I had on a few weeks ago, Lil Missy, she wrestled at the Troy Day show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But with Troy Days, this is their second show that I've gone to. I'll say last year, the first one I went to, I got to actually participate within one of the main event match
Oh, cool.
for um Saturday night.
Oh, that's what's up. So what
Uh,
was it like? What was it like taking a bump in the ring?
I didn't say all that. I I threw a good right punch, right haymaker.
You say that's all you was trying to do, huh?
Yeah,
Hey, I hear
but
that.
it was it was fun for the moment.
Yeah, yeah. So do you think that you would ever like be involved in a match like that again, or you think you want it done?
Now with the involved, I can I would like to have another spot in a match,
Okay.
whether it's throwing a punch, clothesline, anything like within that. Even though I'm not trained, I'll do what they would possibly be willing to let me do.
Yeah, yeah.
Because with what I've got, with like my health and stuff, take I can't train to become a wrestler. I can't take bumps or anything like
Oh,
that.
okay. Got you.
Hmm. But I'll do what I can. I just want to shout out the SCW again because they invited me to become a full time member of the commentary team up there.
That's what's up. That's what's up. How's that experience been?
It's good. I had my first show I commentated was back in June, June or July.
Okay.
One of those
Yeah, because I
months.
went to one of their shows. Was it in April? It was April or May. I think it was the show that they did after Winter Mania.
Um, Winter Mania Aftermath.
I think that was it. Yeah,
That was
yeah.
back in March.
March. Okay. Okay.
The
I knew
or
it was kind of
there,
like
there was a
went.
May show too. No Forgiveness was the May show.
Okay, so it had to be the one in March that I went to.
Hmm.
Okay.
I can just look up them. I got posters so I can kind of reference.
Hey, that's what's up. So who are some of the talents fans should be keeping their eyes on right now in SCW?
Right now in SCW, some I would definitely be keeping an eye on Evan Encore.
Okay.
Keeping an eye on let's see, Dean Hendricks,
Okay.
Joseph Antonio Guerrero.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen him at a couple of shows at the SCW show and Ring of Champions.
Hmm.
I've seen him at he's pretty popular here in on the independent scene too.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. Shut up. Let me see. I'm gonna say, ooh, that's a good one. Johnny Go and Daniel Wolf.
Okay,
Two other ones.
sweet. That's what's up. So can you share a memorable moment or behind the scenes story from working with SCW?
Hmm. A good backstage story. That's good. don't really have a moment, but not necessarily a backstage story.
Well, okay, yeah, whatever you could think of, some real quick,
The moment that I can. But no, never mind. Give a funny story. Someone's gonna kill me for saying no, but just everyone in the backstage in SCW, it's always a good time kind of being backstage. There's some funny stories that are told, good moments that are shared. Just everyone within the SCW locker room is pretty supportive of each other, telling each other good match, shaking hands, and sticking around all the way to the end of the show, watching other matches.
and I think. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
I was just going to say that I think that that's cool that that you have promotions that that kind of just have that togetherness and stuff like that. Because I've been like at the end of one of their shows, and just when they're cleaning up and unfolding the chairs and taking the ring down, you do see a lot of those wrestlers that was in the show that stay afterwards and help take the ring down and stuff like that, and everybody seemed like, when I was just seeing everybody interact and stuff, it seemed like that everybody is supportive over there at SCW. And like I said, their shows are good, and you definitely correct that it's definitely family based, and it's and they love to put on a good show.
Most definitely. And the two owners, Glenn Berger and Dino White, do think of SCW as a family behind the scenes.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember at one of their shows, they had did a donation for one of the wrestlers or one of the guys that worked there. I think somebody in his family had passed, and they did like a big donation for him and stuff like that. And I thought that was pretty cool.
I know that SCW as a whole lost two big people within their wrestling family days apart. Like I think it's like 2 days apart back in May.
Wow.
And going back to Troy days, they renamed their annual Battle Royal that they do annually at Troy Days in honor of one of the people that we lost.
Oh, okay.
That was always there at Troy Days helping out.
That's cool. That's cool. So do they have like a like for the winner of the Battle Royal, like a trophy or a championship or?
Yeah, you get a trophy.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's cool. So do they have a show coming up soon?
They do.
Okay.
It is August 25th. Or wait,
October 25th?
October 25th. I don't know.
Okay. All right, cool.
It is Nightmare on 12 Mile.
And that's gonna be that's in Royal Oak, right?
Yes, sir. Modern Skate and Surf Park.
Okay. Yeah, I might have to try to get there. That's the day after my birthday too. So I might have to try to step on the
I know they're not revealing anything. They're bringing in some names within the indie scene.
Cool. I'll definitely have to check that out. So how do you see the Michigan independent scene growing in the next few years? And what roles do you think promotions like SCW will play?
I can see the Michigan independent scene either kind of staying at a steady pace with everyone having their loyal fan bases, or kind of growing if enough word gets out for every show. So you
Okay.
have people like SCW that have their loyal fan base, XICW for all those like hardcore wrestling fans that want to see that type of wrestling go down. You
Okay.
also got, like you said, Ring of Champions, you got Horror Slam. So everyone has their loyal fan bases, and some may grow as time goes on.
Got you. Got you. So if you could bring one dream guest onto the Outside the Ring podcast from any era of wrestling, who would it be and why?
Ooh. Any? Let's see. Say out there. I've got two I would like to bring on. They're both
Okay.
big names out there. The previously mentioned Undertaker,
Okay.
kind of because, like I said, he's one of the first people I started watching. He's number one for me on my list and on my Mount Rushmore. And I feel like that could be a nice little sit down conversation. And then number two is going to be Matt Hardy.
Oh, cool.
Got around out to Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys were my tag team back in the day. Just I like seeing what they were doing. Like Matt Hardy version 1, Broken Matt Hardy, seeing all of Matt's gimmicks. Like
Mm-hmm.
how Undertaker, Jeff Hardy had their kind of gimmicks going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, real quick with the Matt Hardy gimmick, well, when he was doing Broken Matt Hardy, what did you think about that?
I I really liked what he was doing with Broken Matt Hardy, kind of involving that in TNA, and then bring it over to WWE, having his little feud with Bray, and then teaming with Bray.
Yeah. Yeah.
Found,
So do you think his broken like WWE kind of killed the broken character a little bit when he had started doing it?
um, I feel like there were some things that WWE definitely could have done with his broken Matt Hardy gimmick they had
Mm-hmm.
going on. Because going back seeing matches when he was broken Matt Hardy in TNA and what they were doing with it, like he had a drone and he was teaming with Jeff with the broken Hardys. Definitely stuff that could have been done. They could have added on within the broken Matt Hardy.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just like I don't know what it is with WWE. It seems like if it's not a character or a gimmick that they came up with within the company, they always try to find a way to like kill somebody's momentum or whatever. I think
Mm-hmm.
that I think that's kind of what they did a little bit with the broken Matt Hardy character, and then it was
Mm-hmm.
like it was kind of cool to see him with Bray Wyatt, and I think they had won the tag team championship, but it was just kind of like these two supposed to. I feel like they supposed to be feuding with each other at the most, like just these
Mm-hmm.
two characters, and I don't know, they always found a way to mess up something good, in my opinion.
And oh, Lake of Reincarnation that he brought out
Yeah, yeah.
during their match. I think it was just within the Hardy compound. I don't think it was when he threw. I think he put Bray into the Lake of Reincarnation, and that's what led to them kind of teaming up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that. So, so speaking of WWE, let's just everything that's been going on. The PLEs are on ESPN, and then a lot of people don't like the stories on Raw, the stories on SmackDown. Just you, just what's just your overall thoughts on the state of WWE right now?
It could, it could. There are parts where it can be better. Like on both brands, Raw, SmackDown have their good kind of feuds and storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Like Raw has the Usos and the Vision, and then the Seth and Becky, Punk, and AJ Lee,
Yeah,
and then SmackDown has like Drew and Cody, and then like Brock and Cena.
yeah. So do you think that that they should be doing more to put more talent on, like guys maybe like Carmelo Hayes or um I'm trying to think of somebody else that's not getting a lot of TV time. Um I know a lot of people have started complaining about Jacob Fatu, but Jacob Fatu is back on TV. I think he was just selling because I know his last match he had lost at SummerSlam. So I think he was probably just selling the loss or whatever, but he ended up coming back uh, last week. But
I
do you
think
think that do you think they need to do more to the to put the guys on that's not getting as much TV time?
most definitely. Like with Carmelo Hayes, I could see him honestly getting some more TV time here because it looks like him and Miz might be kind of separating.
Yeah, yeah, I see that too. Cause yeah, like the two just don't mix. You know what I'm saying? And then I think you could tell from when they got together, like eventually that they gonna split. And I just think the Miz is at that point in his career where it's just like use him to like put younger guys over.
Mm-hmm.
So what
Like
do you
that,
think? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
like what you're saying with Miz, needing to use him to put younger guys over. Kind of going back to Jeff Hardy and his kind of final like months within WWE. He
Yeah.
was he was putting people over. Like he had a few matches against Austin Theory,
Mm-hmm.
and then guys like Damian Priest and Karrion Cross kind of helped put them on the map when they got caught up to the main roster.
Yeah. So let's just talk about NXT real quick. They got this whole crossover that they've been doing with TNA. Um, what's your thoughts on the TNA NXT crossover so far?
I'm really enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it too. Do you think it's a little one sided that WWE has been pretty much winning all the TNA titles?
Yeah, but come Bound for Glory, I can see TNA getting them the the world title back. So I can see, I believe that Mike Santana is gonna dethrone Trick Williams.
I can see that happening.
Hmm.
And what do you think about Obafemi losing to Ricky Saints?
There couldn't have been a better time for him to lose the title. If he were to lose the title, the great call was for it to happen on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Now this kind of this could be a good time to call him up to the main roster.
Yeah. And yeah, I definitely agree with that. But where would you place him on the main roster? Would you mid card, or would you kind of put him in that lower tier of like the main event wrestlers?
I would put him in like the upper tier of mid card.
Okay, yeah.
Have him win like the IC or US title, hold that for a bit
Yeah.
before putting him into that world title.
I would give him like a Goldberg like run. Just
Mm-hmm.
let him run through everybody. Don't put him against somebody where it's a possibility he could lose. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
don't want to put him 25-0. He got all this momentum going, and then you want to put him up against Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar beat him in less than 5 minutes. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like WWE would do something like that, and then try to explain why. So I think if they do call him up, give him a Goldberg like run, let him win, like you said, the IC or the US title, and just let him run through it. And when it's his time, put him in that title picture.
Without a doubt.
So do you think eventually Trick Williams is somebody else that should get called up?
Yeah. With that.
I think it's go ahead.
I thought that once he lost his kind of NXT title at second time to Oba, that was the time for him to go kind of main roster bound. But then we see him win the TNA world title.
Yeah. And I think him winning him going to TNA and being the TNA champion, I think that's just gonna help him even more when they eventually call him up to the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if they would have called him up right a little bit after he lost the title, I think that he would have had that momentum. He would have been one of them wrestlers that would have had that momentum for like a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as he took a couple of losses, he would have been on main event. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, they would have definitely found a way to like kill this momentum. I don't know what it was, but then again, because I was about to say that it seemed like all the NXT wrestlers when they get called up, they momentum get killed. But that was when Vince was running the company, because it just seemed
Mm-hmm.
like he didn't. If it wasn't Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins, he didn't like. It seemed like he didn't like anybody in NXT.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that could have been done better with Vince in control. Because when Karrion got called up to Raw,
Oh man,
I think his
when,
first match, I think, was against Jeff. And
yeah,
then just that pin, him just letting Jeff feet on the ropes, pin him, and then
and
just
then
killing all that momentum from NXT. And he was the NXT World Champion too.
yeah, and then they had him dressed like a character from like Gladiator or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Mask.
Then it was just like, man, what is y'all doing? And then they did the same thing with Keith Lee. Like they
Mm-hmm.
tried to change his name to Bearcat, and they did all this extra stuff with him. And it was rumored that if Adam Cole would have stayed, they would have called him up to be Keith Lee's manager. And it's just like, oh man, like he really was trying to kill Adam Cole's character, because that wouldn't have been a good look for him if he would have got called up and been a manager.
Mm-hmm. It was. I feel like I've seen something somewhere that before Keith Lee got injured back in during pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
he was supposed to face off against Drew for the WWE title, and he was supposed to win it.
Yeah, that's crazy. But it was a lot of controversy with Keith Lee because I think that he was like you said, he was in for a big push, but I also think that they wanted him to lose weight and he didn't want to or something like that. And I know it was, I also know he had health issues too with COVID
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But I heard that they wanted him to like get in better shape and he didn't want to. And that was one of the reasons why he got released. And I think, and I always say this because I remember around the time Gunther had got called up around that time too. And when
Mm-hmm.
Gunther got called up, Gunther got into shape too. Cause so sometimes I think about if Keith Lee was supposed to have the run that Gunther has had. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think about that sometimes because it's been a while since we seen Keith Lee, and he was like one of the top stars out that at that time that was over in
Mm-hmm.
NXT. Got called
Oh
up.
yeah,
And
Survivor
this,
Series 2019.
oh man, that I will have to say that was one of the best Survivor Series of all time. Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT, and that's when NXT had everybody. Like that roster was so deep. Like
Mm-hmm.
you could put them against anybody on the Raw roster or the SmackDown roster, and you could debate with somebody that, hey, somebody from this NXT brand could beat somebody from the main roster.
Mm-hmm.
So who were some of your favorites during that the black and gold era?
Black and gold, definitely Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole,
Yeah, yeah,
Ricochet, Roderick Strong.
yeah.
Those are just some of the few that come to mind.
My favorites was definitely the undisputed era. I think that should have been if they would have played their cards right, they should have called them up to the main. They should have been like the next coolest faction in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were cool in NXT, but they definitely should have got their shine on the main roster. They were my favorites. Bobby Roode was definitely my favorite. I think he had like one of the like most over gimmicks at that time. Like he had
Mm-hmm.
everybody singing his theme song, and it was just like it was kind of like a throwback to like guys like Ric Flair that used to wear the flashy robes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Nakamura, his character was cool in NXT. Finn Balor, um, they just had a real deep roster back
Mm-hmm.
in the black and gold era. So let's talk about AEW. AEW just had their pay-per-view was at All Out. That was All Out, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Um, and they've been making strides, trying to get back in the scene. Hangman Page is the new champ. Um, what are some of your thoughts? And they got new women's tag team championship. So
Mm-hmm.
just what's your thoughts on the state of AEW?
Yeah, they're doing good things for sure, especially with the Christian and Adam Copeland, Edge, what we refer to him as,
Yeah.
against the faction Christian used to lead.
Oh yeah, his because so who's left in that family? Because I know it's what's the one guy name that got his mom in the group?
Nick Wayne,
Yeah, Nick Wayne.
Kip Sabian.
Yeah, because it's just them two now. Because Luchasaurus just went back with Jack
Jack Perry.
Perry,
Yep.
so it's just those two. That's going to be interesting to see how that turns out with Nick Wayne and Christian. Because I
Mhm.
definitely know that this Christian got unfinished business with him.
Yeah. Nick's always saying he's one step ahead.
Right. So like I said, Tony Khan, he announced that it's gonna be that they dropping new women's tag team titles. What's your thoughts on that?
Um, just gotta see where it goes because I don't think there are that many women's unless they throw random people together. I don't think there's really that many, but I could be wrong.
I'll say that I think that AEW is gonna do a better job with their women's tag team division than WWE is. I say that. I think, and like you said, I think they do have some names that they can throw together,
Hmm.
but I also think that they're names that will put on good matches. And I think that they have. I think AEW has a deeper women's tag team roster than WWE because right now, was it Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Um, you got one of the tag team from NXT, Sol Ruka and Zarya. They've been kind of like challenging them.
Hmm.
Um, Alba Fire and uh,
Piper. Niven.
Chelsea Green. Because I heard Piper Niven is going to be out for a while. She got a serious neck injury. They say it actually might be career ending. So so far right lately it's just been them two. So
Hmm.
it's like they really don't have a lot of women's tag teams in
Yeah.
WWE.
Judgment Day. That's the other one I can think of.
Judgment Day, you got the Kabuki Warriors.
Warriors.
They could put EO and Rhea Ripley together if they wanted to. So, I mean, they got options too. It just, for me, I just think it all depends on who they put together and how serious they take it.
Hmm.
So, real quick, do you think with AEW adding the women's tag titles, do you think AEW has too many championships?
Yeah. What they got? They got like what three, two or three mid card,
Yeah, because they got the
unified TNT.
Unified, the TNT. Um, you got the tag team titles, the men's and the women's
Women.
coming. You got the world title, and that's not even including the TBS title for the women,
Hmm.
the women's championship. So that's like seven. And then that's not even including, and I forgot the trios championship. So
Oh.
that's eight. And that's not even including the championships in Ring of Honor. You got the Ring of Honor men's and women's.
Hmm.
You got the men's and women's television championship. You got the Ring of Honor trio because they got a trios title, right?
Hmm.
Then you got the tag titles. Yeah, so that's like all together with AEW and Ring of Honor, that's like 15 titles, 14, 15 titles. But you know what? But with how deep their roster is, I don't really mind it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like,
You can get a good mix in each division,
yeah, yeah. I
but
just I just wish that they would put more like which mid card title is gonna have more prestige. Is it the unified title or is it gonna be the TNT title? You know,
hmm
so I don't know. We'll see. But I think that they'll do good with the women's tag titles. I just hope that they don't create another title like a cruiserweight title or something like that.
hmm but at least in WWE's defense, they have with the titles they have, they're split between three brands. and you just
Right.
have one. You just have the world. You have a world MMA card and tag for each brand, and then those women's tag titles are shared.
Yeah. So do you think WWE has too many titles, or do you think they doing it right, having like the titles for each brand?
I think they're doing it right, considering how I said they have those three brands,
Yeah.
and then with AEW and Ring of Honor, those aren't necessarily brands per se. They're just two companies.
Yeah. So do you think, and I've talked about this on previous episodes of mine, and I've talked about this on other being a guest on other podcasts. And this is what I say, because you really don't know who's working, who's wrestling in Ring of Honor and who's wrestling in AEW. Do you
Mhm.
think they should take a page out of WWE and just do like a brand split, have wrestlers wrestle in AEW and have wrestlers wrestle in Ring of Honor, so we'll know who's in Ring of Honor?
Yeah, kind of just how it's two brands. You just have set kind of rosters for both brands.
Yeah. And then it's like you can't say that if they did that they would be copying off of WWE.
Hmm.
Almost every promotion that, if you look at their shows, they copying off of WWE, from the barricades outside of the ring, from the ramps, the Titantrons, the
Hmm.
pyro. They get all that stuff from WWE. So it's like, why not do a brand split? So Maverick, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, having a good conversation about wrestling and just, hearing about your story. Before we get up out of here, did you want to tell the people how they can find you on social media?
You can find me on YouTube. I type in an Outside the Ring podcast. Have the logo behind me. There's my logo.
Sweet, sweet.
Instagram, it's Outside the Ring underscore. Facebook, same thing as YouTube. Just type in Outside the Ring podcast. And then working on kind of setting up an X account.
Okay, cool, cool. Any future guests that you got coming on that you want to talk about, or you want to keep those under wraps?
I quite a few that I've done that I still have to go through and edit and
Oh,
upload.
okay.
So I'm working on trying to get some other new ones scheduled.
All right, cool. We'll definitely whatever new episodes you got, to definitely share them on my platform and tell my peoples, or tell all of the IWC to definitely check them out.
All right.
So before we get up out of here, just want to tell everybody thank you that's been watching this episode. Um, as always, you can catch Wrestling from the 313 on Facebook, TikTok, um, YouTube. We trying to get to the 6,700 subscriber mark. Instagram, X/Twitter, and yeah, just support Wrestling from the 313. Leave comments, like, subscribe, hit the click the bell to get all the notifications and stuff like that. And I will see you all next week with another episode of Wrestling from the 313. We are going into my favorite month of the year, October, which is my birthday month. So I'm excited. Got some cool people coming on the show. Real quick, before we get out of here, there was a couple people that left comments. Joe Monroe, want to give a shout out to him. Thanks for leaving a comment. Rick Del Santo, who left a comment, shout out to him. And somebody left a comment for you, Maverick. Andrew, give a shout out to him.
What up?
Shout out to Andrew for leaving a comment. Appreciate it. So once again, it's Wrestling from the 313. Maverick Salazar, host of the Outside the Ring podcast. And we'll see you next week at 8 o'clock on Wrestling from the 313. Peace.
Definitely support Wrestling from the 313. You got a great thing going on. Thanks again for having me. It was an honor.
Problem. No problem. Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too.